Good morning, my amazing listeners. This is Roshika Ali here once again, presenting a TEDx review of Julian Treasure, who is a sound expert. And he feels that we are losing our listening uh, because the world around us is getting louder and louder. And we are also consciously trying to immerse ourselves in our little bubble by wearing headphones and not engaging with the sounds and the worlds around sounds and the things happening around us. So the important thing to remember is that he starts his TED talk by telling us that uh, we are losing our listening capacity because of technology, because of the fact that we have recording devices. In the ancient world, it was writing, the written word that you could always come back to, so that you did not have to pay attention to the speaker, at that particular time, whether he was actually speaking to you. And then now we have audio and visual recordings that we do not feel to actively pay attention to what is being said. 60% of our life, or of the way we make sense of our surrounding, depends upon our listening capacity. But sadly, we only remember 25% of what we hear. Uh, we are remarkably evolved in the way we make sense of sounds, because sounds ground us. They give us a knowledge of space and time, and we are able to extract sounds, the relevant sounds, from a very noisy environment. For example, in a crowded room, if somebody calls out our name, we are able to respond. We are also able to develop the capacity of blanking out background noise, and that is called differencing. Whatever we hear, we filter it. And the filters that we use every day is culture, language, beliefs, values, attitudes, expectations, and also our intentions. He gives a very interesting little excerpt where he says that he promised his wife at the start of their marriage that he would actively listen to her every day. He's not been able to keep that promise, but the intention is always there, and the intention is the bedrock of the relationship. Sound places us in an environment that we are aware of, and sound has time embedded in it. So, sonority is time and meaning. This is his famous quote. And he has told us that we need to improve our listening skills by focusing on five things. And the five steps of improving our listening, which Mr. Julian Treasure has told us, are as follows. The five steps are: uh, first, we need to give ourselves 3 minutes of silence every day, or as much quiet as we can possibly muster. This silence will get us to recalibrate, and it will get us to find our center once again. Secondly, we can practice conscious and active listening by something called a mixer. If we find ourselves in a noisy environment, we should try to identify individual sounds and try to figure out how many individual sounds are we actually hearing. It can be the sound of traffic, how many horns, how many cars, how many motorbikes zoom past, or it can be in a natural setting where we can, isolate and focus on the chirping of birds, the fluttering of wings of a butterfly, or even the whooshing of the wind, and the ripples of water across the surface. uh, it's very, very important that we savor individual sounds. That means we find the joy in the mundane sounds. We take pleasure in hearing our coffee grinder early in the morning. We take pleasure in the chirping of birds early in the morning. or we take pleasure in our tumble dryer or maybe our washing machine doing the work. And he calls that the hidden choir. Secondly, it's always the listening position, which is very, very important. We need to play with filters, and the filters which he mentioned earlier, the cultural filter, the empathetic filter, the active listening filter, the passive listening filter, the critical listening filter. So, if we are able to use those filters and are able to really understand and consciously make an effort to communicate with each other on a spiritual level, on a social level, on a mental level, only then can we really live in a world which is peaceful, which is dynamic, which is inclusive, and which is free from all the atrocities that we find ourselves in. uh, he has given us the technique which he has made the which he has given the acronym rasa to. Rasa is actually a Sanskrit word which means the juice or the essence, and it means, and what he says is that we have to receive the information which is being spoken to, which is being communicated to us, or which is being verbally disseminated by someone. Then we have to appreciate it. We have to give encouraging sound so that the person who is trying to communicate with us feels engaged and speaks more about or makes his point of view even clearer. Secondly, we need to summarize. We need to, in the middle of the conversation, go back on what the speaker was saying and try to, summarize our understanding of the plot. And the last one is to ask questions, to make the points of view clear to us, to make the other person's point of view very clear to us. He has told us rightly that in the current environment where we are bombarded with sounds, we are bombarded with noise, we do not really feel the need to listen actively, because we feel upset and we feel impatient. We do not want to really uh, engage with the world. So, when more people use headphones and to cancel out the noise, more of them, live in little bubbles, and the communication is the thing which suffers. We no longer pay attention to the subtle message, the hidden message, the art of conversation. We are grabbed by sound bites. We are grabbed by headlines, and this is not the way the human mind is meant to function. This is not the way we develop relationships and foster understanding. So uh, I feel that Mr. Treasure's take on uh, establishing conscious listening to develop connections in the world is very apt, and it is the need of the hour. And it should, in fact, conscious listening should, in fact, be part of school curriculum, and it should be taught to everyone. Thank you very much. This is Roshika Ali signing off.